Welcome to WP Means Business bite-sized webinars for today on testimonials and FAQ pages. So we're going to have a look at some example pages from other sites. Some of these will require obviously to do a little bit of design work if you're going to do it that particular way. We'll have a look at some WordPress plugins that make it a little bit easier and give you a little bit of the style, but maybe not as much as some of the examples that you'll see. And then we're going to look at how you actually use those plugins in practice. We're going to do that both for testimonials and then for FAQs. So here's sort of an example testimonial page. This is okay. There's some design that going on at the top here, but the main section here from these logos down is something that you could certainly create using a WordPress page. Obviously, they've got links off to case studies, which are probably just PDFs. Yeah, they are. So you can just click on those and download. So that's something you could certainly achieve within your site itself. Here's another example. Again, something you'd need to do those headers. You would need a little bit of graphic skill. They're effectively taking a little bit of Google Maps, showing where the person is, and creating a little photo. It's quite a nice little way of doing it. Again, with a bit of editing, Photoshop editing skill, or you could create something similar to that. A little even simpler one. It's just inserting, again, it'll probably be using a table. If you haven't got tables enabled, you need to have a look at your upgrading your editor. It's quite a simple approach. I quite like this. Yes, this could be you as well, because with a nice little link, again, to solicit testimonials. So that's quite a nice little approach. A different approach again. This is for people who've had or have encouraged people to write in. So you can pick any of those little small images and show a bigger one. So again, there are plugins within WordPress that allow you to pop up bigger images like that and scan through them. So that's certainly something you could set up yourself. Obviously, there's some other little bits and there's some lovely design going on here, but most themes will allow you to do something like this. And with some of the features of sales pages, which are the next bite-sized webinar, you could probably use some of those to create this kind of page. So the plugin, having hunted high and low and looked at loads of different testimonial plugins, the plugin I'm going to suggest you have a look at is GC Testimonials by Erin. They always have unpronounceable names, these people. Skanden. There you go. It has a lot of different features in it, which you'll see in a minute. So the main things you need to be able to do with a testimonials plugin, if you're going to use it, you could create a complete testimonials page like we just shown you, or you can use a plugin to do everything from collecting the testimonial to displaying it in the sidebar or to displaying it in the post itself. Let me just take you through the different bits on here. I've got a little widget that's been supplied by that plugin that can show 1, 2, 3 or more different testimonials with a link to a full testimonial page. We'll go there in a minute. You can, using shortcodes, you can, in your post itself or in a page, you can include one of the testimonials that you particularly want to highlight. So that's just done with a shortcode. And if you want to submit testimonials, we'll have a look at that page. Let's have a look at that. You can get people to submit them. This could be a hidden page. Again, they can complete their details, upload a photo, agree to the fact that there's that the testimonial can be published. It's quite nice in that it asks for a little short headline and then the testimonial itself. Let's go back. So the widget thing itself actually has a link to a testimonials page where it'll list out the different testimonials that you currently have. And these testimonials are categorized, so you can change the widget on the side to show different categories at different times. So let's have a look at some of the how the functionality is done. Having installed that plugin, the testimonials editing page is a shortcode again. So if you haven't come across shortcodes, they're normally things in square brackets. So the actual So that little bit there becomes the testimonial form. So you can put an introduction before that, and you can put text afterwards, but that acts as a placeholder for the actual form itself. You can find out the plugins, the shortcodes that are used by that plugin by looking at the page itself. So if you look here, we have, let's have a look, how do I add a submission form? That's the shortcode that we've just used. So that will create the form that we've just looked at. If we want to have a look at this, the testimonials themselves will come in to an extra bit on your dashboard. All the testimonials that are, can be filed under different categories. As you can see here, I've got one category called design. We could have other categories. You can edit when the new testimonials come in. You can edit them. So that's the sort of headline. That's the testimonial itself. You can see here the picture that's been uploaded using featured images. Up here you can see the category that this testimonial applies to. And then you also have another little box with the details of the person. One thing to note, those should be http://, otherwise they won't link properly. You don't have to include a link if you don't want to. You can just delete that. So that's edited that one particular testimonial. So let's go back to the site. So to add in that single testimonial there, I've just used again a shortcode. So at the bottom of this you'll see another little shortcode. So you need to know the ID number of that particular testimonial. You can find that by going into the testimonial section, and you can see over here it's telling you what the shortcode is to get that particular testimonial if you just want that one on a particular page. If we have a look at your widgets, there's the testimonial widget. The options that you have are which category or categories you show, whether you cycle through them, how many you want to show on at a particular time, whether you want the images, whether you want the read more link to a particular page. So you could set up a really nice looking page that's done the way I showed you in those other examples, and you could link to that page instead of linking to a page like the one I've got, which if we go back to the site, you'll see the link here. It takes you to a page which outputs those testimonials. If we edit that again, you'll see another little those shortcodes. So you basically need to create a testimonial page. You just need to create a blank page and put full testimonials in. Again, that's in the list here. Should be somewhere. It's under installation maybe. No, maybe it's under FAQs. There it is. I missed it. Full testimonial. So you can output a particular category, or you can if you just miss out that categories equals, you can output the whole lot. So there's lots of different options that you can have, certainly from that testimonial plugin. Okay, so that's giving you a little bit of a whistle-stop tour through one of those testimonial plugins. They do generally, there's a load of testimonial plugins. I found that they have varying degrees of completeness in terms of what they're able to do. The biggest issue is actual formatting of all the widgets and the actual testimonials themselves that get output. They may or may not work in your theme, but certainly the GC testimonial seems to work quite nicely. FAQs. The FAQs, frequently asked questions. One of the things you need to be really careful of is that you don't actually create FAQs full of ridiculous questions that nobody would ever ask. They do need to be things that are frequently asked. This is an example page. It has a nice little search box. It also has some categories of searches. And then you can see some of the answers being output there. This could be done using a widget, or it could be done partly with a widget and partly maybe with a sidebar linking to common things. You could completely set this up without widgets and just have pages. and just lay those out nicely. But we'll have a look at a widget in a second. You can also create things like I have here, which is a video frequently asked questions page. This is done using a video plugin, which has a nice little trick of being able to open up into a bigger version. Plugins are... I'm not going to let you hear the rest of that. You'll have to go and watch it if you want to. It's hidden away at the moment, but it is under wpmeansbusiness.com/FAQ. A little bit of a work in progress. So the plugin I use, I've certainly used on other sites to create, if you want to use a database of frequently asked questions, is Q&A FAQ and knowledge base for WordPress. Bit of a mouthful. Let's have a look at what that looks like. So that creates a little search box. So you can go in there and put wine if you had a bigger list, and it'll show you the particular things that the results from that search. You can look at each individual one. So it's got quite a nice little set of functionality. You can have things under different categories. So that behind the scenes, let me show you what that looks like. So again, the first thing you want to do, both with testimonials and with FAQs, is to create some categories and think about how things are going to be organized. So I've created a couple of there. I think I created food and drink. If you look at FAQs at the top, it'll show you the ones it's currently got. Again, the categories are there. You might not necessarily see all these. This has come from the SEO plugin, because these are counted as being pages, so they add content to your site, which again can get ranked. So let's have a look at editing one of those. There's the question. There's your answer. So it's a full editor again. You can do what you like with it. You've got the categories that appear over here, same as normal. You can pick which ones it appears under. And it really is hopefully as simple as that. There are some other plugins, FAQ plugins, which will allow you to do submit questions to you. I typically would use a Gravity form to do that and send it on to me and get people to sign up to my mailing list at the same time, but I'm sneaky. So we've kind of come to the end of having a look at those two plugins. I look forward to seeing you on another bite-sized webinar from wpmeansbusiness.com.